What's going on, you guys? It's Keenan Briggs, sports consultant and mentor. Today's conversation in this video, we're going to be talking about the 5 reasons you're frustrated with your long jump. So when we go into this, I asked myself, like, what were the reasons I was frustrated with my performance in the long jump? A lot of times it was I wasn't like getting the results that I wanted. I was trying super hard, but I just couldn't get the lift that I wanted. And so in this video, it's going to be broken down into the 5 things that really are the issues that I see across the board, and also some tips for you guys to help you improve. And also at the end of this video is a bonus I'm going to give you guys as well. So make sure you stay to the end. Okay, so the first thing, and these are not in no specific order, is just what I believe. First thing is going to be your mentality. A lot of times athletes have a goal of just getting better, and they don't really have anything specific, just I want to get better. Well, what does that mean? I don't know. Just I want to improve. Well, the issue there is you're very vague in where you're going, and if you don't know where you're going, you're going to end up in random places. Kind of like if you're, well, honestly, you can't even catch an Uber if you have no idea where you're going. You have to have a set location that allows the driver to decide: do I want to take this person across the U.S. or down the street? It depends, right? So when athletes aren't mentally prepared, they don't know where they're going, or they're not clear on where they're going, then it's hard to find results that are in favor of what you want, because you could say get better and you improved your speed on the runway. That's better. But if you don't know to look for that thing, then you're going to find yourself in a very negative position, because you're going to be confused at the results you're getting. When you have a set destination, then when you do find your results, you can acknowledge that and you can see it and you can keep going forward. The second one is going to be you're not strong enough. So many times I get videos of athletes saying, "Hey, I want to jump, 20 feet. I want to jump 40 feet, all these distances that are considered far." The problem is you're not strong enough. Yes, you might be strong in the weight room, but the weight room is not track and field strength. If you notice, when you go to the weight room, they have you do weights. If you do sports, they have you do weights and then some jumping right after to kind of superset that. Well, my thing is, if you're not doing the bounding, the jumping, all those explosive movements, then you're not really in shape, right? And on top of that, you should be doing single leg movements, because track and field is all based on one leg. And if you're jumping, it's literally force production from one leg. So it's not about just being able to push a certain weight. It's about being able to load and change that direction of a load to a positive strength push position at a very fast frequency, right? So at the end of the day, you want to make sure that you're strong in both directions, eccentric and concentric. And here's some weight room exercises you guys can go to and check that out to help you with, if you are in the weight room, exercises that I would recommend. The next one's going to be inconsistent approach. So when it's long jump, majority of long jumpers typically do sprints as well. I don't really know too many jumpers that just do long jump and that's it. If they do long jump, it's usually other jumps and they're a full-time jumper, or they do sprints as well. So let's just say you're a sprinter and you happen to long jump also. Well, the issue is you're going to be inconsistent on the board, because every single week you're getting faster. Now, the issue with that is it's a good thing because you're getting faster. But the bad thing is you're not going to be consistent on your approach, because your speeds are always different. This might mean you have smaller steps. It might mean you're running quicker and you have less time to produce the force to send you up and out in that jump. So how do you fix this? You want to consistently work on your run throughs. If you're a primarily sprinter and you probably only jump once a week, then you should be focusing on your approach work at least 2 to 3 times per week. This includes twice for practice and a third time either at the track meet or just another third time. Now, I don't mean doing full workouts. You might only have one long jump workout, but you can always warm up for your sprints doing speed work on the actual runway to keep your consistency there. Now, if you're not a sprinter or you do sprint, you want to make sure you have a set step count and a set step rhythm. What this means is most jumpers in high school go from 16 steps or 8 strides, right? I like to go from 14 steps or 7 strides. And so we have a specific step count and we have a specific rhythm. And that rhythm is basically 6 accelerate, 6 drive, 4 accelerate, 4 top end speed. And keeping that going allows you to always be in a similar place. Now, you might be a foot over, a foot behind. At the end of the day, it's still going to work because your rhythm is there. It's essentially like a recipe, like McDonald's, for example. They have a recipe and it's the same type of recipe across the US. It might vary in a certain way, but it still has that same flavor. So for you, you want to have that same recipe. So wherever you go in any track meet, you're still going to have the same baseline rhythm, same baseline step, and find yourself more consistent on the runway. And there's a lot more. Here's one example is how to fix a chronic fouler. If you're always fouling, you want to watch this video as well, and that'll help you with improving and getting better. Okay, now the last two, your form isn't good. If you don't know whether you hitch or hang or glide or whatever you do, then you need to start by figuring out how you're going to jump. If you don't have an understanding, then it's going to mess up so many things. If you're a person that watches the board, if you're a person that takes off and you break your hips when you jump, like all these things take away from your jump and it creates more inconsistent jumps. So the best way to start is by, again, that recipe concept, which is if you're going to do the hang for this whole season. That allows you to get used to what you're doing and also find the right timing within that position. Don't switch your jump forms back to forth because what that does is it creates inconsistency, which is what you're trying to fix, right? Or get rid of. And it also just doesn't allow you to get into a rhythm. And we're talking about rhythm and consistency this whole time. The last one's going to be poor landing. A lot of times athletes don't land well, like my team traditionally just doesn't land well. But I'm not really worried about the landing because there are so many elements prior to landing that are important, which is why we can have big jumps and then we're working the landing at the next level. But if your landing is horrible, you could be losing 2 to 3 feet per attempt per jump, which is a lot. So biggest thing is what I say for athletes is, you know, a lot of coaches say, I want you to extend and hold. Well, one, you want to extend and hold at a certain time. You don't want to hold too high because now you're trying to hold your legs out, which is virtually impossible, right? It's too hard to do. So, what I have my athletes do is hold their flight pattern when they're in the air, and then they kick out the last minute. This allows less holding position with their legs out. The other cheat code that I use for them is I simply have them rotate backwards. When you kick your legs out, if you do, and you rotate towards your back, essentially you're moving your feet away from the sand, which helps you get a few more inches. But if you're not seeing both of your knees in front of your chest when you're landing, then you're significantly going to lose distance and you're going to be upset that you lost by 2 inches. But the reality is you probably had a foot and a half better jump anyway. So that's the biggest thing. Now, the last thing I do want to highlight is my bonus piece. The bonus piece is if you agree with any of these things and you feel like that's me, that's exactly what I do, then you want to check out my elite jumper checklist. What I have done has I've broken down 27 pages, 9 concepts of what to wear, what to do, what to eat, all the things that can kind of prepare you for success in this event. And if you're really interested in the details of what drills to do, how to get your approach, how to correct your technique, I have a virtual course called the Jump 101 program, and that's all going to be listed below. If you have any questions, let me know. If not, I'll see you guys next time.